Welcome back to Cooking at Pam's Place. We're getting ready to make the most amazing, delicious, easy bread dinner rolls. They're crusty on the outside and nice and soft on the inside. I like to use them, either just break me off a piece and put some butter on it. Y'all know I love my buttered bread. Dip it in some stews or soups. It's just amazingly delicious. You're going to need a cast iron Dutch oven. That's what this is, with a lid. It was upside down. If you do not have a cast iron Dutch oven like this, you can use a regular pan, but you'll need to create a water bath. And I will explain all that a little bit later. First thing we need to do is preheat our Dutch oven in a 425 degree oven for 30 minutes with the top on. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven so it can start preheating while we do everything else, and I'll be right back. Okay, we have our pot in the oven preheating 425 degrees. We're going to go ahead and make our dough for these amazingly no yeast rolls, okay? But before we get started, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. Please take a second and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate your support, and for all of my channel members, thank you so much for your loyal, faithful support. Now, we're going to need some all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. You can use self-rising flour if you want. Leave out the baking powder if you do. This little thing is a 1/3 cup measuring device. So it may seem like I'm putting more in there, but that's because this is smaller. So we want 1 2/3. And then this is 2/3. Okay, next we're going to add baking powder. 3 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to actually use a 1 teaspoon measuring cup for the 3 and a half for the half. Okay, we will also need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am using Himalayan salt. You can use kosher salt or whatever salt that you like, but I always use Himalayan salt. And a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. So I'm just going to combine this a little bit first, then we're going to grab our milk. Okay, once you have all your dry ingredients combined, you need 3/4 cup of warm milk. That's a little bit warmer than room temperature, so you want warm milk. We want to slowly pour this in while stirring until we can create a sticky dough. Okay, now that our sticky dough is formed, we need to turn it out and knead it a little bit until it turns into a nice soft boil. Nice soft dough. Now, I am going to be using this wonderful, wonderful baking mat. Y'all see how big this is? It actually is going to cover just about this whole half of my counter. And I want to take a moment. This is not a promotional video, but someone sent me this map. This is not a map, it's a mat. Someone sent this to me. It's a baking mat to roll out pizza dough and pie crust and rolls. I don't know how they know I needed one, but I did. But I don't know who sent it to me. And I just want to say, if you are watching this video, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate this. I have already used it with some pie crust and it is amazing. Please, I know a lot of people like to donate things anonymously, and that's fine, I get it. But if not, if you can email me when you send me something, especially if you have tracking and you know I've received it so you won't spoil the surprise, please just email me because I would love to give you a proper thank you. I would love that. I really, really appreciate this from the bottom of my heart. And I just wanted to acknowledge whoever sent this to me. Thank you. I have been receiving so many wonderful gifts and I have no clue of who they are from. But if you have sent me something, please do know that I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart and I love you for it. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and use this. So I'm going to move my cutting board and I'll be right back. Okay, my mat is non-stick, but I'm just going to put a little flour on the surface of it. You don't want to use too much extra flour, but you may need to add a little bit while you're rolling it out. A little bit on my fingers here and a little bit on top of the dough. We're just going to knead this until it turns into a soft dough ball. Adding a little flour as we go along as needed. Okay, you should have a nice smooth ball just like this. Then you want to take a knife and cut it into fours. Now, if you're using a baking mat like I am, make sure you don't cut through to your baking mat. Put a little flour on my edge of my knife so it'll cut a little bit easier, and then that way. Now you've got 4 different pieces here. Now you want to take each one of these and pull them and stretch them, making each one of them into a ball. And you'll probably need just a little bit more flour as well to roll this into a ball, tucking your ends in so that it'll be nice and smooth. And this is what you want it to look like when it's done there. Okay, and you want to sit that one down. Make sure you sit it on just a tad bit of flour and go ahead and do the rest of them like that, folding your ends in just like that, adding a little flour to your hands or your fingers if you need to, but just a tad bit. Roll it around, make it into a nice smooth ball. So I'm going to get the rest of these done and we'll be back. Okay, now we have all 4 of them done. We are going to take a serrated knife. Looks like this. Don't have one, you can use a steak knife. This works best, but you can use one. You want to take this and make a simple cross right down the middle of each one, not going too far down the bread. It will split as it cooks, and that way. You can make just one if you want, or you can do it like I'm doing it. Doesn't look like it's much of a cut, but it is. Oh, because this pot is hot and heavy, make sure you sit it on something that's proof. Ooh, that's hot. I use this one. And be careful. Always open it away from you from that steam. Be very, very, very careful. We're going to sit our rolls down in the pot. Be very, very careful. Do not touch the edges. This pot is scorching hot. Just put it in the bottom. Put one on each side of the pan, just like that. Being careful. Now we're going to put the lid back on it and put it in the oven for 20 minutes with the lid on. Then we'll come back and make adjustments. So I'll be back. Okay, while our bread is in the oven, I had mentioned earlier that if you don't have a cast iron Dutch oven, you can use a baking pan. You're creating steam. The bread is cooking by way of steam. That's why we needed to heat our cast iron skillet first. And as you saw, when I took that top off away from me, there was a lot of steam coming out of there. So you need to create that same atmosphere. And if you've ever cooked a cheesecake or anything like that in a water bath, that's the essence of what you'll need to do if you don't have a Dutch oven, a cast iron Dutch oven. Do everything we did and put your rolls in a pan like this. Then you want to take another pan that's larger than this. It can be a muffin tin, it can just be a 9 by 13 pan, and you want to boil water. When you get ready to put these in the oven, you want to set your oven racks up where whatever rack this is on, the rack right below it, right below it, you want to put your secondary pan. In this case, this is an 8 by 8 pan, so you put a 9 by 10 or 9 by 13 pan underneath it. Once that water boils, you don't put these pans in the oven until you're ready to go. Your bread is in here. You have your 9 by 13 pan. Put this on the top shelf above, right above this lower shelf. Push it into the oven. Then take the boiling water, make sure it is boiling. About probably for a 9 by 13, I would say at least 2 to 3 cups of boiling hot water. Pour that boiling hot water in the pan. The pan is already sitting on the lower oven. You don't want to carry that boiling water across the kitchen. So put the pan in the lower oven. This is already in the oven like that. Your other pan this is in the oven. Your other pan is sticking out. Pour your boiling water in it. Then gently slide it in, close the door, cook it. The same thing. Right now, it's in the oven, 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. Then we'll make an adjustment. You're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna just lay a tint of foil on top of it. I know a lot of y'all don't like foil. I can't help you. I'm using my foil. I'm still here. I'm still good. Okay, that's enough. At any rate, that is your alternative to having a cast iron Dutch oven. So we'll be back when it's time to make our adjustments. Okay, we are at the 20-minute mark, and we need to go in and remove the top. Please remember, this is piping hot. Remove the top away from you. Don't open this going towards you. So we're going to lift the top up. See that steam coming out? And as you can see, our bread is looking good so far. We want to keep it in here until it's completely crusty and golden brown, probably about another 5 minutes. Ooh, okay, we are officially out of the oven. Now they need to sit here for about 10 minutes, rest and cool. While they are cooling, I like to go in and just brush the tops of them with a little melted butter. It's optional. And we'll let these finish cooling. Oh my goodness. Look, guys. Don't they look amazing? I'm gonna get some butter and we're gonna cut one open. I'll be right back. Okay, I want y'all to see how nice and fluffy are. See? They're nice and crusty on the outside. And you break them open. Ooh, it's still hot. Ooh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Ooh, look at that, guys. Yes, let me grab my butter. Oh. Again, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. Oh my goodness, look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Yes. If you all could just smell them. Please take a second and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything. Returning subscribers, thank you so much. Channel members, thank you so much. Okay, without further ado, It is so delicious. You can use cream cheese, flavored butter, garlic butter. Dipping this in stews, I love it. Fall is on its way. We're gonna be making soups and stews and things like that. You know you gotta have some bread. And I would say I have not used alternative milk and I have not used alternative flours. But please give it a try and let me know how you like it. I rarely use alternative products, but you probably surely can. If I was going to use an alternative milk, it would probably be coconut milk. And I may use wheat flour or something like that instead of just regular all-purpose flour. Okay, I will see you all next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.